Today is Monday. I don't know how long my little camera is going to last for, but I figured I would try. Also, I feel like I'm a little nasally. I don't know. Is everyone and their mom sick right now? Because I sure as hell feel like we are. I'm currently sitting outside of a coffee shop. My girls have no school today, so my mother-in-law is down. She's going to hang with them for a bit. And then in a couple hours, I'm going to go back and take over and spend the afternoon with them. It is basically impossible for me to work at home when they are there. It's just like, even if my mom, my mother-in-law, anyone, they will be like poking into the office or they'll be finding me. I feel like this is like the most unflattering angle. Let me see if I can put you up there. Let me see. Man, I am a little sick. Okay, so I wanted to start doing, how do I even say this? I am working to build my own app. I want to design and launch an app for Along the Waves, and I want to document my process and what it looks like. I want to be really transparent about, approximately about cost and everything that goes into it, because I have obviously never done anything like this before, and I think it's really interesting to see what goes into stuff like this, because you don't see it. We are all consumers, right? So I just got off my second phone call with a company. So far, I've had 2 meetings with app developers. The first one went really, really well. We had, I think, a great connection. And, well, first off, let me back it up. And I think my camera might die too, which would just be like a big buzzkill. Can I charge it in here? Hold on. Okay, so let me back all the way up, right? I launched Along the Waves almost about a year ago. It's a online community where the whole premise behind the brand in the beginning was the thought that when it's 3 a.m. and it feels like you're the only one awake in the entire world, we've all been there, right? When you're rocking your baby, it's pitch black outside and you feel so lonely. The thought is that there's another mom who is also awake with her baby, whether she's 2 blocks away, a state away, maybe on the other side of the country, like pending time zones, okay? It's the thought, okay? It's the thought. Or if there's a mom who is watching her baby take her first steps, and the way you just feel your heart light on fire as it does in those moments of motherhood, there's another mom, maybe in a different country, pending time zones, okay, who is also watching her baby take her very first steps. Both of your hearts are on fire at the same time. And I think that's a really beautiful piece of connection in motherhood that we don't often talk about, because motherhood can feel so isolating, right? It's like what do people say? It's like what is it? You're the most alone you've ever felt, but you're never really alone, right? Because you're always with your kids. But in reality, we really are all riding the same waves of motherhood. We may have different ships, right? But we're all connected by this underlying current of just wanting to do the best for our kids. And I think, therefore, we're also connected in all of the struggles, whether it's sleep or toddlers or teenagers, whatever. I was the first out of all my friends to have a baby. It was an unplanned NuvaRing. Sorry, I'm so stuffy. I'm cringing hearing myself talk. Unplanned NuvaRing baby. So we weren't going to have kids for another couple years. My husband and I got married in October. And then we were like, let's take a year. We were planning a Europe trip. And then I got knocked up in March on NuvaRing. So we had our first baby in December. And I don't think you're ever prepared to become a mom, right? I think we all know that. But I was really not prepared. As I said, none of my friends had kids. A lot of my friends weren't even married, and I was diving into motherhood, and I still had a good group of friends. A few of my girlfriends I'm still so close to today, who I was close with before I had kids. They stuck with me through pregnancy, postpartum. Just because they didn't have kids, it didn't mean that we weren't friends anymore. You know how you lose some friends sometimes when you become a mom. So I had a couple of them who were still so lovely and supportive and kind, but it was me. I didn't want to talk to them. And I told them that. I was like, I'm sorry, this is a me problem. You're being wonderful. You are being receptive to my feelings. But I don't really want to text you and be like, oh my God, third time I can't get the baby to nap. She keeps waking up. All I want to do is do the dishes. And then have you text me back and be like, sorry, you got this, mama. You know what I mean? And that's nothing against them. They are wonderful, 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 amazing girls. We're still best friends to this day. But I just like didn't want to unload any of my motherhood burden with them. And I think part of that is like I didn't want to bore them. I didn't want to push them away. I think there's also this weird pressure with moms, like we want to be extra positive about motherhood. Do you know what I mean? To other people who haven't had kids yet, like you don't want to be too negative. And I think that's something a lot of us are trying to work on, is like walking a line between positivity and reality when it comes to sharing what motherhood is, right? Like, yeah, it's really fucking hard, but it's also wonderful, but it's also really hard. And I don't think anyone told me how hard it was before I had kids. But anyways, so I didn't have anyone to talk to. And that's what led me to start posting on Instagram and kind of using it as like an online journal almost. And I remember very specifically when I very first started posting more consistently on Instagram, posting stories, posting pictures. I don't think I was doing reels yet. This is when my first baby was like that first year she was born. So like 2019. I would get texts from my sweet friends being like, hey, I saw on Instagram that you had a tough night with your baby. Like, why didn't you text me? And I was like, because I don't want to bother you with it. And again, they would have been lovely, but it's like, if you don't have babies, no offense, like I don't want to talk to you about nap schedules or sleeping or anything like that, or trying to get my baby to take a bottle, whatever. You get it, right? So I didn't have anyone to talk to. I turned to Instagram and used it as a journal. And it wasn't until I started connecting with other moms through Instagram, DMs, reels, whatever, and eventually TikTok, and realizing, oh my God, you guys have these insane intrusive thoughts too. Like, it's not just me. You guys are thinking these things too. Wait a minute. Other people have postpartum rage. It's not just me. Other people have rage. And that was really, really magical and validating. And it completely changed my motherhood experience, I think. And I want to, more than anything, give that gift back to other people. And I think that is what is next for Along the Waves, because right now it's been sweatshirts, t-shirts, which is still really wonderful and powerful, especially if you see another mom wearing an Along the Waves t-shirt in public. You know that mom gets it, right? You know she is one of your people. You can feel safe around her, and you know you don't have to worry about her judging you for your kid having a meltdown, whatever. Really quick side note, let me brag about Along the Waves for a second. My favorite story I've heard from someone in the community is that they were flying for the first time. I need to look up what her name is. They were flying for the first time with their baby solo. So like just mom with kid, with baby. And she was so nervous, and she was getting on the airplane, and she was wearing her Along the Waves t-shirt, and she's boarding, like trying to calm her baby down. And then there's a mom, or as she's going down the aisle, she hears someone go, hey, nice shirt. And she turns, and it's another mom wearing an Along the Waves shirt. And she just like took a big deep breath or sigh of relief and was like, okay, like I'm not the only one on this airplane. There's another mom on here who gets it. Like, I'm going to be okay. And she said it completely reframed her mindset for the flight. That is amazing. And that's what I want to make more accessible for moms on a daily basis with this app. Okay, long story short, Annalie. So I've had 2 meetings with developers. My first one was wonderful. The quote I got for my first one was really, really high. It was over 6 figures, and that wasn't what I was prepared for. I was preparing for somewhere maybe like 40 to 50,000 were my first thoughts about how much something like this would cost to build an app custom from the base, because I want this to be a really, really unique custom luxury. Is that, can you even describe an app like that? Like, I want it to be a luxurious experience, right? Like, I don't want it to just feel like one of those janky apps you open with the ads that's clunky. I want it to be like really soothing and magical, because that's what we need, like enough of the chaos. So that was kind of sticker shock. I have heard from other folks that maybe if you buy an app, like a base, I'm an engineer. I should know what these terms are. I only took 1 computer programming class, okay? I can design pipes all day long, but anything with computers, although I did program Snake on a computer and it just about killed me. Okay, anyways, if you can buy the framework for an app that's already been developed, then all you gotta do is customize it or maybe tweak some things. And I think that can be a lot cheaper, like 10K and under. But for what I wanna do, it's gonna be, really expensive, okay? So I had that first meeting, then I had another meeting that also went really wonderful. That was lower. And then I can't share details about names, numbers, anything specific yet, because I'm like I'm under NDA with all of these people. So then I just got off another meeting, and I haven't gotten an exact scope and fee yet, but it's sounding like it'll be down closer to like middle range, which is exciting. So yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm really, really enjoying having these meetings with developers because I mean, I know like in engineering, like there's so much that you don't think about into how something is created or what goes into it. And even just simple things like, okay, what do you want the user experience to be like? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. What do you mean? Like you open the app and you find moms. It's like, no, there's so much more to that. Like, what do you want the roadmap to be when you open it and then you click to people? What do you want that to look like? What do you want? The different pages, like there's just so much more. What do you want the login type to be? Like so many little details. So long story short, and I'm going to tell you about the features of the app too, like what we're thinking, because I want to get all the feedback. I want to listen if you've used other similar apps, what you like, what you don't like, what you're looking for, what you need, what you don't need, what you're concerned about, what you're not concerned about. I've used a lot of the mom apps like Peanut, and there's another one I can't remember. So I kind of have an idea of what's out there, but again, I'm so open to any thoughts and feedback, and I'll get into what we're thinking about in a minute. But right now where I'm at is I'm going to wait for this next quote from someone and kind of see where it lands. And in engineering, we always say, or same like in like contracting, like if you're getting something done at your house, like you want to throw out the highest and the lowest bid, right? And find someone in the middle. I don't know if that's how I'm going to approach this or not, because I really want to work with someone who understands my mission here. I think that's really important, and who can bring a lot of like value outside of just the technical development, in terms of getting creative or unique features. So I am absolutely okay paying a little bit more, like paying the higher end number, if it means getting a better product in the long run and something that I'm really, really proud of and I can stand behind. So I'm waiting for one more quote, and then I just need to look at everyone, go through the proposals, and move forward. I don't think I'm going to get any more quotes. I think I'm okay where I'm at. What was I going to say? Okay, I'm okay where I'm at, moving forward, waiting for another quote, and then I can hopefully start signing contracts. Another thing I need to do, Chandler, if you are watching this, Chandler is one of my best friends. She owns the Den here in Denver, and she is the kind of woman, we connected on Instagram and then we became real life friends. She has kids the same age as mine. She is just like, when you picture women, sometimes you picture women who are like competitive or nasty, or maybe like they're always trying to like subtly bring the other person down. Chandler is the exact opposite of that. She is such a builder upper. Like, she is so encouraging and supportive. But I love talking with her about this stuff because she has such a smart business brain. I don't. I went to school for engineering. I can tell you about Bernoulli's equation and recite that left and right. But I cannot tell you what a marketing plan should look like or anything about business, right? Like, I'm learning all of this. So to have someone like Chandler who understands how businesses work and how to look at things like holistically, I feel like I'm always hyper focusing, but to step back and look at big picture, like, she's been so helpful in that aspect. So before I make any moves on this and sign any contracts, like signing my life away and lots of money, I need to nail down a business plan and really like dive into it and run it by Chandler, run it by my dad, like have Ethan look at it, like get it in front of as many people as I can, so that I, one, know where I'm going with this app. I kind of have a game plan, and I have a vision of what I'm doing that makes sense, because it does not make sense to just sign thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars without knowing, you know, what your business is going to look like and what your goals are. So I'm working on my business plan. As soon as we get off this, I'm going to get on my computer and like dive into that a little more, because I want this to be legit. The most I've ever invested into along the waves, I think is, I think the biggest order I ever did was like 17,000, which still like absolute heart attack, but this is a lot more than that. So, and 17,000 was for one of like my big launches I did. So anyways, so that is another thing that I want to do before I commit to doing this, is really like put my business hat on and see if this is a good investment, how I can make it work, and if it's really worthwhile to do something like this. Okay. So quick rundown of the features of the app. I've been talking about it nonstop on Instagram, so you probably heard me, but even just DMing people, I'm getting such good, my car's yelling at me because I'm just sitting in here. I'm getting such good feedback and so many amazing ideas about the app. So let's just like talk about it quickly, okay? Okay, so basically the whole premise is reminding moms they're not alone, but I need the app to have more value added than that, right? Like it has to be something that keeps bringing moms back. That's the whole point of an app. You don't want it to be something that, like we all have those apps that you download and use once and then you never look at again, right? That's not what I want this to be. It needs to be something that has value added that keeps like drawing people back in. Another thing that's really, really important to me for this app is it's not just postpartum or pregnancy. I feel like a lot of the time, especially with like marketing or social media, there's such a high focus on pregnancy and that first like year postpartum, right? Because it's such a big deal and big life change and arguably one of the hardest years, right? Like with your newborn, sleep, breastfeeding, whatever. But motherhood is a lifelong journey, right? It is a lifelong journey. And I think it's really important to have an outlet for moms who have toddlers, who have kids in that middle school age. Gives me a heart attack just thinking about it. Even moms who are sending their kids to college for the first time, those moms need love and support and validation and community just as much as other moms do, because motherhood is a lifelong journey. Did I already say that? So I think just keep that in your mind, okay? Whatever I'm talking about, the features of the app, I want this to apply to moms across the board, okay? So you open the app, okay? We're gonna have some kind of either like a world or like a globe. I have an idea for a different interface, but I don't want to say it out loud yet because I don't want anyone to steal it, and I don't want to say what it is, but some kind of opening interface where you can see little lights of all the other moms who are online right now, right? So whether you open it at 3 a.m. and you can just visually see, it'll say 100 other moms are awake with their babies right now. And you can be like, oh, thank God, like it's not just me who has a kid that doesn't sleep, right? Or maybe you open it and you see all the little lights on and you just like your kid just had a level 5 tantrum in the middle of the day, and you can open it, and just like that visual of seeing other moms and that reminder that you're not alone, I think is really powerful, okay? Maybe like a little mood ring around your profile. So for example, if I choose my mood to be struggling, then other moms, when they open the app, will be able to see my little light glowing as struggling, and then they can click on me and say, I totally understand. So I want to keep this as obtainable and as affordable as possible. And to me, that looks like between, I don't know, around the cost of a cup of coffee is what we're thinking. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I asked online if I should document behind the scenes, and people actually said yes. So I'm going to keep doing that as I go along. But right now we are in the preliminary stages, and I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks to sign a contract and to get things kicked off. And then I will have a better understanding of timeline and things like that. So I can start sharing that. And then we will hop into the design phase of the app, which I'm really excited about. I actually had a nightmare. I posted this on Instagram, but I had a nightmare last night that that I would wake up to a bunch of DMs from everyone being like, you dumb bitch, this is the dumbest idea. Who do you think you are? Like, no one's gonna use this app. Like, you're so lame. And I woke up to a lot of messages that were the opposite, of people saying, oh my gosh, like I'm crying just thinking about this, is what some people said. And like, that makes me want to cry. Or just people being really excited about it makes me really happy and kind of solidifies that I'm on the right path, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to cry, but like the beginning of motherhood was really challenging for me, and it still is really challenging. And if I didn't have my online community, right, like my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever, where I can talk with moms, I would feel even more alone and even more lost. But I have those platforms, right? So I have that support from strangers, and I just want to be able to give that back to other moms and give them the gift of connection and shared experience above all else. So, okay. Whew. I'm nervous, baby. Making moves. I'm nervous, but I'm really excited. Oh, I also want to say safety is a key factor. Well, that is it. I will be back hopefully with another update next week. Oh man, I'm so scared, you guys. I feel like, who am I even to be making a decision this big and to be investing this much money into my little brand. Like, who am I, you know? I just, okay. Okay. That's all.